Later, when I was a struggling and still politically ignorant young actress living in Los Angeles, I continued voting for all things Democrat, as did everyone else in my life at the time. I once even participated in an anti-war, anti-nuclear protest, which I later found out was led by ultra-radical Jerry Rubin. To be totally honest, the real reason I went to that protest wasn't as much about the cause as it was the clothes. My actor friends and I thought it would be fun to dress like hippies, in peace necklaces and paisley items from Melrose thrift shops, and hold protest signs. We mostly giggled and acted like idiots. I'm sure even Reuben was happy when we left early. Back then, the only time I remember talking politics with my artist friends was during Screen Actors Guild elections, and even then, someone else probably had to explain what we were supposed to vote for. The word self-absorbed comes to mind. Seriously, writing this, I don't even like myself right now. Bear with me, conservatives. It all has a happy ending. My final political blunder came via Bill Clinton. It was the 1990s. I was now married to my husband, Mark, who had always been a strong Republican, so we had to work very hard to completely avoid political discussions during the Clinton years. When we did talk politics, it usually ended with me saying something like, "I just believe in him, that's why," and leaving the room. Despite all the bad press I had read about Bill Clinton's personal life before the election, I believed he was my new Jimmy Carter, and, ironically, I was also convinced Clinton was everything President Reagan and President George H.W. Bush were not. Bill was young, charismatic, and seemed to be in touch with the people. He had the same type of dynamic personality that I imagined someone like John F. Kennedy would have had, not to mention the same type of bad boy reputation to which, before I met Mark, I had always been personally drawn. So I happily voted for Bill Clinton. Twice. Throughout Clinton's presidency, basically everyone, including his supporters, knew what a scumbag husband he was. So few were surprised when the Monica Lewinsky stories came out. We had already heard about other women who'd allegedly had affairs with the president, but they all eventually went away. I think we all thought Lewinsky would go away too, but she didn't. Somehow, I was able to put my personal moral values aside and turned a blind eye to his lack thereof, and I decided Bill Clinton's sexual problems were between him and his wife, and not the entire world. But then, he lied. As soon as Bill Clinton, my president, looked everyone in America straight in the eyes and said, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman," the love affair was officially over for me. Allegedly cheating on his wife was one thing, but getting caught red-handed in the Oval Office and continuously lying about it until DNA evidence backed him into a corner was unconscionable. I was happy he got impeached and disgusted when he didn't step down. Unlike Nixon, that would have been a resignation I would have wanted to watch on television. While the sex scandals were playing out, I closely watched his vice president's reaction to everything. I waited for Al Gore to step up, to separate himself from Bill Clinton. I don't know what I wanted him to do or say. I just wanted him to do something. He did nothing. So the question was, why? I was a young woman with considerable intelligence and a very strong work ethic. So what was it about the Democratic Party that continually seemed so appealing to me? The answer was the same for me then as it is today for all the blind progressive supporters, and it basically comes down to one word: propaganda. Later,